Hello and welcome back to my Launch Complex Dev stream of RP-1, where we're almost ready for orbit. Meanwhile, let's check how much I'm spending per year. Oh, that's a lot. I think I'm probably going to have to go for first orbit before I... 22 days, 60 days. Oh, right, I don't have to do the math anymore because I wrote, yeah, okay. 4 months. 4 months before we have that solid. Hey, scroll. There's no particular reason I can't use a space B. Skip these two. That'll save a month and a half. Okay. The other thing that I need to do is get lunar range comms. Now, interestingly, the reason I'm getting lunar range comms is not to go to the moon yet. It's so that I can draw less electricity. um, Squirrel, it is almost certainly because your dry center of mass is not in line with your wet center of mass, which means that as you burn propellant off, your active center of mass moves up or down, which means that your engine starts producing torque by thrusting. So use RCS build aid, lower the, empty your tanks to like nearly empty, and look at the torque produced by the engine. Now offset the engine until the torque goes away, because when it's full, you're probably in the low atmosphere, which means you can aerodynamically correct. When it's empty, you'll be in the high atmosphere and can't aerodynamically correct. So that's when you most care about having your engine in line with your center of mass. Okay, so I need money. And I think probably what I need to do is Okay, we now have idle engineers. Okay, this launch site is much more efficient. This will take 12 days and we'll see what we get down to. And it's costing next to nothing. Okay, so basically, for reasons that I can't explain, my last personnel thing is not working the way I want it to, really. That sucks. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna just fire a bunch of engineers. Prep that for air launch. Okay, now we're paying rather less per year. Now, how much sounding rocket payload does this actually have? Can't remember. It has 330 liters. All right, let's play some slot machines. Close. So close. Hey, okay. We can do this. And 570 kilometers. That's fine. Here we go. All right, let's see how that behaves. Set up my turn shape a little long. A little wrong. It's VC1, yes. It has, well, it has a battleship third stage and payload section. Interesting note on terminology. Boilerplate is used for payloads, battleship is used for stages. I mean, it's a dev stream. I figured I might as well do something I haven't done before. I mean, I did Vanguard like when I created RP-0, I think, but I haven't in a very long time. All right, we're getting a respectable amount of data out of this flight. The X45 for the XLR-50. I believe that's, yeah, XLR-50. Interestingly enough, the AJ1037 was the XLR-52. We have AJ10 ignition. And we have a AJ10 failure. Because of course we do. But presumably we'll still have enough oomph to get as far downrange as we need. $570 kilometers. Hopefully we'll be able to do it. No, both boilerplate and battleship mean non-functional. Just wait. It's just that the term for a non-functional payload is boilerplate, and the term for a non-functional stage is battleship. So, for example, the first Saturn I flight used a battleship S4 and a battleship S5, aka Centaur, and then a boilerplate payload of some sort. Okay, so even with that failure, we have the performance necessary to complete our downrange contract, which is good because we need the money. Great success. You can still see it gimbaling, though it doesn't have any thrust. All right, so let's see what kind of downrange capabilities we have even with the failure. Okay, so with a low thrust to weight ratio, we'll probably only hit about 1,300 kilometers, 1,400 kilometers. We'll see how fast we burn up. Might be able to get to 2,000 kilometers without the failure, or with a better pitch program. Okay, that's weird. Our surface horizontal speed should not be increasing. Wonder why it's increasing. Like we're flying zero lift. Yep, so 1,300 kilometers, maybe like 1,350 before the sounding payload burnt up. We're going to go sploosh downrange in the Atlantic. Well, fragments of us will go sploosh downrange in the Atlantic. Okay, so that gave us a bit more money. That's nice. That completes June 14th. All right, that's fairly cheap. It would be nice to fly it a couple times. Given that its reliability is quite high. All right, that's fine. And I guess I might as well start. It's just in the scene 3 times. I might as well start. Okay, yeah, we'll start getting our X-15 going. Okay. Hey, NorCal. So we're just flying a few more Vanguard battleship test flights and then going for orbit. And that doesn't give me anything other than the solar panel, right? Watts, which is, assuming I launch into the sun, um, enough to power, with no experiments, enough to have continuous solar power. So that's fine. Okay. Um, start that training, and then (160 days), 8 September 54. Okay, we don't have to start that yet. This one, meanwhile, okay, so we'll, once training completes. NorCal, yeah, it is very different. And also you have to do a lot of manual budgeting because we haven't converted things over to programs and budgets and things. Which is why I'm leaving a bunch of funding. And I'm still going to just barely make it over the finish line to orbit. Because, God, that burn rate is insane for my researchers. And I just had to fire like half my engineers. Maybe didn't have to, because like I have about 150 days left. Yeah, about 5 months. Which stretched to maybe like 7 months with income. And it's April 54. So you have to make 3 months and then 2 months to build the thing. Yeah. Okay. How long until their training completes? April 8th, 5 days. Okay. Let's fly our missions. "55 kilometers we can do. Oh God. Well, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Oh, also we need to, yes. Oh God. Definitely need to dump everything before we land. Because do not want to land heavy. Okay. All right, we're at only about 100 meters elevation. It's fine. Terrain elevation, I mean. Yeah, it's my first XLR-11 failure this whole campaign. Good enough. Okay, it'll take 10 days. And I can cancel this. Let's fly the other one instead. And meanwhile, oh, except is that going to burn the... No, thankfully it does not. It only burns on completion. But that doesn't burn the cooldown. Okay. Let's try this. Rotate and lift off. Up we go. Those landing gear are the smaller version. They're the normal small gear bay. They're good for about 100 meters per second. Yeah, you need to rotate, and you have a little bit of slop, but about 100 meters per second. If you push it beyond that, your gear are going to break. Yeah, but there wasn't much weight on them by that point. Like they only had probably like a tenth of the plane's weight because so much of it was coming from lift, but we weren't quite positive on lift. So yeah, I think wheel loading has some effect. That or there's just slop. Okay, that's about right. "18 kilometers is good enough. Now let's get fast. Okay. Okay, based on the thermal limits, I doubt we can get over 700 without blowing up. So, thank you. Yeah, I just reused my old one. I sunk so much time into this. I'm so happy with this thing. I love how well this turned out. Impressive that the dynamic pressure is still almost 30 kilopascals. Okay, it's time to go home. All right, let's go on dry thrust. And we don't have to be this high on dry. Let's get down to like 15 kilometers. or 14, whatever. It's fine. Still at about 45,000 feet. And all right, this at least will give us some badly needed cash. Okay, somewhere around there I think is correct. Nope, I was wrong. You get closer to the outward track. Okay. Now we can come home. Okay. Yeah, lined up pretty close to the runway. Yeah, overshot. Okay. Oops, I need to do that. There we go. Okay. Flare and not bad. Okay. That was acceptable. As our rewards. All right. Yeah, that landing could have been better. All right, so we're going to prep for air launch again. Try this again. That sounded better. That sounded much better. Yeah, that's too aggressive. What was that about? Okay. All right, drag loss is not mounting quite as fast as before. Okay. Now we'll go straight and level for a while and then go for the zoom climb. All right, I think we want to do about Mach 3. Here we go. Whoa, what just happened? The G limiter is supposed to G limit me. I don't know why the G limiter was not G limiting me. That was bad. All right, let me quickly do that again. Yes, that was a surprise for all of us, definitely including me. more time. So we'll get up to about 25 kilopascals and Mach 3. Okay. There. Yay, we cracked 70 kilometers, so this was a better ascent than usual for me. Clearly I have to wait longer before pitching up. And our altitude limit was 75 kilometers. Hopefully we don't do anything stupid. Oh boy, this is bad. Yeah, okay. Apparently that's nothing to mess around with now. Man, that's an interesting change. Turns out when you don't have bugs in your code, like I had bugs in that code since when I wrote it, it actually matters. So yeah, all right. Cannot get away with doing that. So have to stop at 75 kilometers. But cool that now we know a much better ascent profile for this thing. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah, clearly the other times I've flown this thing, I was not getting fast enough first. Makes more sense, because I could have sworn that I could get over 70 kilometers with this thing. Turns out I could get over to 80. Shouldn't get over 75, but... Okay, so what you want to know is the lift-to-drag ratio for this. 3.4. I'll leave this open for you for now. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I guess it's not quite real time or something. Okay, close this up. It does have a pretty high lift-to-drag ratio, but it's not that high. All right, I think it's time to go for a zoom. Oh, nearly so. Here we go. Okay. We into the air go we. Altitude record. It gave us some money. What do you mean by drop tank cheese? Let's see if we can go for a bounce. Can't get back up to 40, but we can go back up some. Um, so I forget whether the X-15 actually ever used drop tanks. Might have. In which case, about then is okay for a rocket engine. But before that, like, solving that problem with pumps is hard. Like, rocket engine turbopump level stuff. For jet engine, it's not hard. For rocket engine, it's fairly hard because the rate of flow is so much higher. And also because your oxidizer is cryogenic, usually. Okay. And let's come in for landing. Yeah, negative angle of attack. That hopefully I'll be able to start building my X-15 fairly soon. Although interestingly, never have to go beyond twin XLR-11s to get pretty good performance. Oh, that's right. I still have 10 seconds of propellant left in this thing. Oh boy. All right, I'm a little slow. Flaps in. Okay. There we go. Yeah, kind of got bit by sink rate both ways. Okay. That was a success. Now, what's happening next? Ah, perfect. We'll get our avionics. Which means at that point we can decide to... We could go for orbit right then. But... NorCal, what do you mean by the XP logging? All right, so now what are we looking at? It's still about 27K a month. And we're in May. So 2 months until we can build a solid, and then 2 months to actually build. So 4 months total. Yeah, I think you only get extra days if you actually go to space now. And none of these people have gone to space. Not yet. Right, so 4 months. And in particular, 4 months times plus 2 months is 6 months, 180. So yeah, we'll be out of money. Happily, there will be some contracts that we can do. Wow. Like we'll be able to do one of those pretty soon. Yeah, I'm not sure when that changed. It may have always been true, but maybe not. But yeah, there's TMF probably knows. Okay, so what experiments can we put in here without A, making it too heavy? And I think we can afford about 50 meters per second of losses. Maybe, no, maybe 200. Now that I think about it. Mass spectrometry we put in. That we're full up on. That we're full up on. So just mass spectrometry. Okay. That's already tooled, even though we didn't have access to it. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's weird.
Hey there.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Almost to first orbit.
Cool.
Did have an X-plane failure, which was kind of weird. It's the first time XLR-11 failed to light. That was interesting.
Yeah. Although that article you sent me points out that the XLR on a ignition failure was relightable.
Yes. Yeah. So we need to fix that in particular. Was it
not. I mean,
so? Was it fully relightable, or was the fact that you could light each of the chambers independently, and if one of them failed to light, you still had the other three?
I don't know. I just remember reading that Jaeger said that, well, the pilot flying next to Jaeger saw that it was just fuel coming out of the XLR-11, and then he relit it, and then got all four chambers lit eventually. I mean, they were individually lightable.
Okay,
Actually,
then
yeah,
yes,
so,
that does prove that. Yeah, you can relight it.
yeah. I mean, he was individually controlling which one lit in which order, so it seemed like, yeah, he just relit the one he wanted to relight.
Yeah.
But I imagine that the failure rate on the XLR is set so low that maybe is just accounting for catastrophic engine issues rather than.
Yeah, it's like 5% chance of failure. Looked like on ignition.
Yeah.
At least at my current data level. So. What's I doing here?
But yeah, I've had XLR-11s fail to light.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I presume I have in the past, but that was a rude shock. Given that I'm quite near the edge on money.
Yeah, I tend not to go very far away when I'm air launching, because I'd rather just be able to fly back if on a relight failure, and then I tend to be able to glide like, I don't know, 300, 400 kilometers when coming down off of a high launch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The fairings aren't tooled yet. What's going on? Oh, that's expensive. Yeah, I know the size limits are exceeded. Okay, try now. Okay, so that's not available at the moment. We're at 9815. Let's replace it with a space B and see what happens.
You're not stealing a prior design.
Nope. No, I built a Vanguard. Which was probably a little dumb, but like I enjoyed it.
I don't know why that would be dumb.
It's dumb because when am I going to use these parts again? In these toolings.
I mean, generally don't reuse the FO parts unless you're, I mean, you're doing just FO, not FSO.
No, I'm doing FS. Well, I'm probably going to do first orbit before the X-ray detector is ready.
Yeah, but it's going to be capable of doing FSO.
Yes. Oh yeah, this got 250 by 4000. So.
Yeah. So,
with an X-ray detector in it, it will get rather less than that, but it should still probably be enough.
Yeah, I mean, generally you don't use that whatever rocket you use for FSO for much else. I mean, you can maybe sometimes use it for ComSat or something like that, but then it's overbuilt. Use it for, I mean, if you can get the right guidance on it, you can use it for SSO, or I mean, if you use cheaty methods.
Or math.
So,
Lots of math.
oh, it's not the math is the
It's
issue.
yeah,
It's
it's the
the
cutoff to get low
residuals.
yeah, low eccentricity. But
Yeah, I
it
mean,
may be wide
cheaty
enough
methods.
that
I
using a
mean, like
yeah
slowing down the game
yeah
clock, or
liquid and dynamic time warp.
yeah, or the fact that you could still use RCS with the throttle. I think even on the lower than you
Yes.
guys wanted avionics.
Yes. If you have near Earth avionics, you can use RCS with even zero mass near Earth avionics, which like that was
No, I mean with a science core avionics, you could still use throttleable RCS. You can use 4-aft, but you could still just run it off the throttle.
oh with MechJeb, yeah, because MechJeb will automatically
Without MethJeb.
Oh, you just say actuate with throttle and it does the thing.
Yeah, just say actuate 4x throttle and then
Right. Yeah. Okay, so this is 100 meters per second worse than 110 meters per second worse than solid, but it's not actually going to be that much. Yeah, it's not actually going to be that much worse because of the whole pressure fit thing. But yeah, this will let me complete orbit earlier. If I want to not wait the extra 2 months for the solid.
BST1 H&N should not work with science probes. At least maybe not until some advanced
it's not supposed to
technology.
work until I think 1962 avionics.
Yeah. And even then, it should probably only work in near Earth orbit.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point that I didn't think of and therefore didn't code, but you're right. That's 810. This is 27. Oh, because I haven't tooled this. All right, what is it if I tool it? $118. Tooling is 4.3 million, but I would get the funds earlier, which is maybe valuable enough to do.
Unless you change the contract. Tends not to be valuable to do FO alone still.
Well, the reason why it might be valuable is because of the maintenance costs, meaning that I might need the money. Like I've already fired half my engineers.
But you can't generate the money out of the science. Sorry, the sounding rocket contract.
They. So I'm just gonna save this and back to it later. Oh, interestingly, also this is not solved because it needs ullage. Although it doesn't technically need ullage if I ignite it on separation, which I can do, just an inefficient orbit. But yeah, see, we have $118 million, and we're burning $27 million a month. And it's going to not be until September 4th, which is to say 3 months from now, that we'll be able to do. And that's assuming that I have an essentially free edit. It'll still be probably like 10 days to edit it or something, to put the extra detector in it. Whereas I could go for first orbit right now.
Okay, guess so.
Like that's the thing. Now I can do another altitude sounding rocket contract 2 months from now, which will net me about 15,000 probably. So that'll pay for half a month. This will pay a little better, but it's behind.
Oh yeah, you have been doing your sounding rockets.
Yes. Yeah, and in some number of months, I'll do these contracts again, and that'll pay me something.
Have you done the advanced bio? I mean, you don't have the experiment probably.
I've done 2 of them.
Okay.
The third one is 4 kmsec, and 4 kmsec is bad news.
Yep. Yeah, okay, fair.
So yeah, that's why I'm considering going for first orbit now.
Where's all your maintenance coming from? I'm curious.
Uh, mostly researchers.
Are you not building another rocket, but you're building a Vanguard?
I have this done. This is completing in 11 days, and that'll do either the altitude or the downrange, whatever pays better. And that'll net me the 10-15K. And that will probably be enough to like limp over the finish line, but it'll be tight.
Well, it does look like your research is going very fast.
Yeah, so the depressing thing actually is that I need lunar range comms to get any science from orbit, because otherwise my probe won't last long enough. Because while the avionics itself draws a negligible amount, TL0 comms is 2 watts. And I don't actually have the throw weight for a lot of batteries.
Sure, gotcha.
Because Vanguard.
Yep.
On the plus side, it's a launch vehicle that's 11 tons, which is to say way more than the actual, like I'm way more performant than the actual Vanguard. I probably have twice the payload to orbit that the real Vanguard had.
So you can't actually do FSO until you get lunar range comms anyway.
I mean, sure I can.
But you just said you don't have the.
I don't have
yet.
it to get much science, but like you only have to transmit enough to get even a fraction of a science point, right?
I thought FSO required a day in orbit.
Yeah, but like I can last a week in orbit. I just can't last 90 days, which is what I need to finish the experiment.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're talking
Yeah,
about
I wasn't clear. Yeah. Although I can actually probably last more like 2 weeks if given that I overperformed what I thought I was going to perform, then I can afford to put some more mass on the probe.
Do you not have solar panels by now?
I do have solar panels, but
So yeah, 2 watts of solar is not that bad.
Yeah, 2 watts of solar is next to nothing.
4 watts or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's worth considering. It will make the thing take forever to build.
4 watts of solar is still pretty cheap.
Check it out.
Or so I recall last time I did this exact thing. Because yeah, I didn't have lunar range comms either, and I didn't want to put big batteries on things.
Yeah. Okay. And itty bitty. Oh, that's already 5 watts. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing to pay 70 or whatever you're paying for it, but it's not like exploding the cost of your rocket either.
Yep. True story. Plus, I can now lower the electric charge on this thing by a fair amount.
You do have to make sure to launch at dawn, but
yep.
I think you do that anyway.
Yep. Consumed is... Oh, that's lying because of the rest of it all, but that's fine. What do you mean produce none? Better. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. Wonder what the dot is going to be.
Dot?
The dot product launching, because I'm launching to 28.5. I mean, I guess it's fine as long as... It depends on the time of year. Launching in September. So yeah, it's probably going to be fine to launch due east then. Probably fine. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm cheesing it slightly.
Shame on you. No, it's fine. I don't know what you're cheesing, but okay.
I'm cheesing to get about the same build points that I'll need for putting the solid in there.
Oh, yeah, to swap out the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can also do the same thing for swapping out an experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to launch this as soon as I have the solid, because if it fails, I'll get more data anyway, right? Like, if it succeeds, I'll get a better payout than launching a sounding rocket. And if it fails, then I just got more data.
Sure.
Okay. Yes, I know I have untooled parts. That's kind of the point. It'll take almost 3 months to build anyway. At that point, I might as well go for... yeah. It's idle. Oh, you people. Guess I might as well put them in there. And I'll start one building here as well. Or no, I won't, because it's a ludicrous amount of time. No, the 5 people is just not enough to matter. So I'll put them back in the hangar. And yes, they'll be idle. Here we go. So what's going to be the optimal thing to do? This pays 10K. This pays better, although we can't actually do it because it's too much sounding rocket payload. Almost can do that one. Maybe we're just not going to be able to do it after all. Yeah, even the intermediate pays better than altitude. 395. 385. 90. 570. So close. Yeah, I wonder if I'm just cursed to never again have something I can do with this launch vehicle. Nope. All right, that's fine. And I only miss out on $2 million. So yeah, I'll take this. This is fine.
You don't wait a few days.
What?
I said you don't wait a few days for the contract to appreciate.
I mean, this thing is built. Oh yeah, but right, like there's nothing else that I can do. So
Yeah.
that's a fair point. It's not actually true that there's nothing else I can do because this is. Oh, but I guess it's far enough away.
I mean, it's purely advantageous to wait till it hits the contract deadline. I mean, you can build another rocket for the next thing. Just
well, I am building. The thing is, yeah.
Unless you're literally out of money and you're not.
Yeah. No, you're right. So cancel that. And just wait with that on the pad some.
I think the break point is something like 97% or something, where if you paying nothing for the rocket, doing a second one, I mean yeah, but it's not even worth considering. Just go to 100% where the thing starts falling off for real.
Okay. So I was pretty close to my guess. And yeah, with the solar panel, we definitely broke even. In fact, we can probably make this a little bit larger. Out.
No idea what chat is on about.
Okay. And this has, yeah, this has mass spectrometry. Okay. Bit worrying that it takes, yeah, the extra money for the solar panel does push it up to a 90-day build time. But Yeah, let's hope we don't have a failure.
Yeah, good luck.
This is Vanguard we're talking about. I mean, truly, if worst comes to worst, I can fire my researchers.
True.
I mean, that would kind of cripple me, but it is a thing that I can do.
How much efficiency have you built up?
78.2. So yes, that'll be painful. Also, the fact that it will cost uh, almost $1 million funds to hire. It'll cost, yeah, like 200K funds to hire them back if I fire 200. Sad.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so that completes just before that unlocks. So yes, we can sub the experiment in. That's cool. And really hope we don't have any failures. Uh, yeah.
Really riding the line there.
Yes. Yes, and I should not have actually warped that long because um, the pad reconditioning is going to take a while.
Excuse me.
939. Now let's put the X-ray detector in here. Oh, that's not bad at all. Right. Okay, this is 68 plus 88. Yeah, so this will pay better. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's try it. Hey, welcome. Uh, doing one last stunning rocket launch before going for first scientific satellite. Really hope that this works. Yep, I'm going with Vanguard. Uh, I mean, progress seems pretty good. Like, I've been able to play this campaign so far, and other people have been playing campaigns on it. Like, the funds balance is kind of screwy, but going okay.
Yeah, considering how big of a delta this is already,
Yeah.
and with more to come, it's going pretty well overall.
Yeah, although LPG is right that that staff dialogue is pretty noisy.
UI does take a while to smooth off the rough edges.
Yeah.
Even if you're still going to end up leaving a lot of rough edges.
Yeah. Apparently, I should have saved these rolls for the actual launch, because this was a great success.
It's a shame there is no UI middleware that's come in and done a really good job yet, and also is moddable.
Yeah.
Possibly it's because all the good engineers hate UI.
This is true. Very true. 570 kilometers. Trivial.
I think if I had a money-making plans in the games industry, it would probably be to develop some really good UI middleware.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like working Panorama. I mean, to the extent that I like doing any UI. Panorama's not bad. But, like, was leverages a bunch of the stuff that was already done for CSS anyway.
With it.
I mean, unless you've modded a Valve game, you probably wouldn't be familiar with it because it's kind of it. All right. So now, the other thing to do is can do this, which will get us some good bit of money. And that will be hopefully just barely enough to let us survive a failure. The other thing that I want to check is what does this require? Oh. You're thinking of sun synchronous orbit. I can do this.
What's the eccentricity or requirement on it?
There isn't one.
There none?
There isn't one. Yeah, you're thinking of sun synchronous orbit.
Yeah, you're right. Solar powered is way easier. You can do solar powered.
Yeah. So let me recalculate. So we want 330 meters per second left over. All right, I'm going to have to sim this to get a...
Does your rocket have enough spare capability to do FSO? I mean, usually you can also do polar if you can do FSO.
Yeah, I can easily do polar. It's just I can't do both at once.
Sure.
And I would rather do FSO and solar powered at once.
Sure, but you can do first orbit and polar at once.
That's true, but I'm going to do first orbit and first satellite, for scientific satellite at once. No.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I can do 3 at once. So I'm going to do 3 at once. Because this has the X-ray detector on it, and it has a solar panel, and we have plenty of delta V.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see if your tuning works out for going to lunar stuff.
Almost certainly not. Squirrel's already talking about running into a funding hole then, which I think is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a little math. We have 3604. Uh, 3274 to spend. Said 3274, right?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Okay. Minus 5040. That's what we need. And we have enough delta V to do that. All right. Let's see if I've got my turn correct. Go Gadget Vanguard. Apparently MechJib needs a little help. Yeah, we're probably going to have about 100, 150 meters per second spare in the able. We'll see. All right, that's going to cross over negative, but it's going to... Oh, nope, it's holding steady. What the heck?
A lot of pitch down.
Yeah, what happened there? That was extremely weird.
Yeah, your apoapsis isn't that high. Why would it have pitched down that far?
Yeah, that was exceptionally weird.
It's not like he... Okay, yeah, I don't get it. Now it's pitching back up.
Yep.
Something's worked.
Yeah, it's probably confused because of the weird insertion criterion I'm using. Oh, criteria, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, I guess that would do it, yes.
Worked fine last night, though. Although, that is even lower because I'm using even more on the third stage. Super weird.
I guess I can get it when your target periapsis is that low. That it needs to hit a very high vertical speed at the end, at termination.
Shouldn't be that high. Uh-oh. Forgot to add stop at stage, which it should have because it should have completed, but it did not complete. That was really weird.
With that target periapsis, you got. I mean, you don't have a lot of horizontal velocity, and you're trying to go from 142 to 330, so you need like something like a km/sec and a half vertical speed.
Yeah, so why did it pitch down during booster burn? That's the question. Yeah, that was the weird part. Like, I get some of the stuff it was doing, but that was the weird part. And we want to
Yeah, I don't
stop
know.
at
That doesn't make
stage.
sense, right? Can't imagine what the criteria was. Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it should be grabbing all the vertical it can then, and then building horizontal later to do it more efficiently.
Yeah.
I would, if it does it again, I would try it again with a higher attach altitude. See if that makes a difference.
Yep.
Because the only thing I can imagine is that because of the attach altitude, it's trying to do this funky thing to try and match those criteria. Either higher or lower. My intuition says higher, but lower might be right.
I don't want to go lower because then I'll have drag affecting my insertion parameters. Like, I really don't want to go lower than 40.
Well, I mean, if you attach as 130, your drag is going to be.
Yeah, it'll be trivial. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so its desired pitch is 20 degrees right now. That's nuts.
Yeah, try it again with a higher attach, and then see if it's better. And then lower the attach a bit. I mean, you might not have to lower the attach that much to improve the situation if it has to be lower. But my intuition is saying higher for some reason. It's too late to figure it out. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. NorCal, ordinarily I would, but I'm needing to actually calculate the math on this one. And I will point out again that it worked fine last night. It's just I was using a lower apogee of 250 instead of 330. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. So the launch date is mid-September 1954. All right, so let's try 160 and pitch a little more. I think 160 is going to be a little hard to reach. That's my intuition, but we'll see.
I don't know. Do you want 5.5? You put in 55.
Hmm?
Your booster pitch rate is 55.
No,
you want 5 point.
It's 0.55.
Oh, 0.55. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the dot in front.
Oh, good. Yeah. 55 degree per second pitch rate would be
Yeah.
Quite impressive.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only reason it would do that horizontal and then go vertical later is because it needs more overall time.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yes, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. The desired pitch is less nuts this time.
Yeah. Although you could have bought that with the more pitch over. So
Yeah, the annoying thing is what I really want to do is specify, leave this free and fix only this, and fix attach to be above a certain altitude and let the optimizer figure out what to do with it.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I think I've been
But
suggested that
yeah.
once a long
Yeah,
while ago.
no, you have and I have, and I'm sure it's on Lamont's list, but many things on Lamont's list. Yeah, pitch is holding steady. And yeah, it tracks with it doing this at high thrust weight ratio, and then when the thrust weight ratio goes down again, then it pitches up. So yeah, I think I see where you're going with what's happening.
Oh, you picked up a roll there.
Oh, it's because I forgot to turn RCS on. Oops.
But I'm guessing like your interstage clipped
Yeah,
to get that
yeah, I
roll.
assume that's what's going on. Okay, this is much saner. And I wonder if it would be better yet with an even higher attach altitude.
Conversely, a higher pitch over. Like I would have just changed one to see if that for sure that was the thing. But I'm guessing it's the thing. But
Yeah, I think the thing is the attach altitude.
I mean, it's possible you could have kept the lower attach altitude and raised your target periapsis too, because then it would have spent more of the time getting horizontal too.
Yeah, if it was artificially wasting delta V, then that could have
Yes.
worked.
But I mean, it was artificially wasting delta V with that kink.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Where is it going?
It's doing the same kink thing.
Oh,
Periapsis is minus 50/40, pretty much bang on. This is acceptable. So yeah, we can try doing something like lowering that. 3262.
Getting that target sorry, the target apoapsis is high because of FSO, right?
For solar, yeah. Yeah, and it's above 300 because I need slop for doing the insertion at non-zero vertical velocity.
Sure. I think my strategy last time was to have a backward-facing baby sergeant with not very much fuel in it.
Oh, for SunSync?
No, for this.
Wait.
So, because getting to a high
Oh,
yes.
So inserting it like 150 by 400 or something, and then kicking.
And because a
yes.
baby sergeant has the lowest dry mass of the solids besides the spin motor, and the spin motor has almost no thrust. I just put a backward facing one in to raise the AP on the other side of the planet.
No, that makes total sense.
I wish I could have just bought a short baby sergeant.
Yes.
Also, the spin motor is annoying because its thrust vector is offset from the root.
Yeah. Okay. Spin up time. Really need a spin table. Okay, that worked.
No, it's Beastie One. As long as you're spun up, you're not going to have any rotation. I mean, you're going to have the spinning rotation, but you're not going to have any pitch or yaw that's not damped out by the fact that you spun up.
Yeah, even with multiple engines such that the thrust is offset, it'll all work out if you spin high enough RPM.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to try with a slightly higher perigee, but then I think we're good. Feeling like I'm doing actual mission planning by having my injection calculator open in one tab, so I can try to figure out what below ground perigee to use.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't specify that in horizontal velocity rather than.
Yeah. More minus 4,900.
Yeah, it's useful. It's beastie one. I mean, Nathan was using it to do his geosync satellites unguided as well.
Yeah, spin stabilization is the trick of early RP1 careers. Yeah, if you look at the earlier episodes of the RP1 hard mode campaign, I do that a ton.
Yeah,
And then just absolutely mass manufacturing, just geosync stationary orbit contracts.
the speedrun level 1 trick.
Yes. All right. Let's see how this works. Why does better controller screw up roll during early ascent so badly? Okay.
It's nice. This is the one night I catch you streaming.
Yep, and we're going
Not
for
feel
orbit.
guilty for staying up too late.
Yeah. That number is a little worrying. We're going to be doing the weird pitch thing again, but
Why is that number worrying? It's higher than last time.
I thought it was at like 35 at this point last time.
Oh, I thought it was at 30 at this point.
Maybe.
No, it's falling below 30 too, so that's not good. I tend to do what NorCal Planner does and just fly these manually.
I mean, I guess, but like I've lost the instincts to do that.
Yeah, fair.
It's catching on the RCS. That sucks. That's what's going on.
This is better. It's not doing that weird like raise at the end. Let's see if it does.
Give it time. It usually does towards the end.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Why did it dip down and then raise up?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that still was less angled at the end than it was last time, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. But it's at least somewhat plausible.
it's doing what you need to do, so
yeah. Beyond a certain point, I don't care.
yeah, for this one, because of FSO's high target apoapsis, I think I did something like whatever, 4.5 kilometers or 4,500 kilometers is the AP, and my P was 100 with an attach altitude of 120.
Yeah, I can't afford to. So much of the Delta V is in the kick motor that I can't afford to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that was still from the kick. I mean, I was.
Oh, because you had because you had two kick motors.
Yeah.
Do you have like a liquid first kick motor or something?
No.
Oh.
I think I was using GCRC for it as well.
Okay.
I mean, the reason I was being able to do my first kick while I was still in the atmosphere, I mean, upper atmosphere, was because I had a GCRC. I didn't need a very long burn.
Yeah. All right, we'll go at 10 seconds. All right, so 3 degrees was too much. We want like 2 degrees or maybe 1 degree. But even so, it's fine. That's why we do 330, not 300. Okay, so as dopey as that is, it is a launch that will work.
I mean, that's appropriate since it's Vanguard.
Fair point.
Also, I was vaguely pleased when I looked up what GCRC actually stood for. That it wasn't some weird military acronym.
Nope. Yeah, the fact that we call it by its manufacturer rather than by its designation is a weird side effect. The same way that the XASR-1 is just known as the XASR.
I never looked up what the XASR stood for. What is it?
Uh, it was the
I can look it up
engine
right now.
used, but I think that may have been an Aerojet internal designation, or it may have been one of the early joint service designations. I mean, it's for the RTV N12, the first like production Araby. For the Navy. It's the N in the even number. Okay, I guess we're flying that one first. Except we don't have any crew. So sure, let's try to do this for real now. Except that the sun is too high in the sky, so we have to wait a day. Okay. September 10th, 1954. Let's do this. Wait, we didn't roll it out? Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Well, that was a waste of 16 hours. Um,
At least with programs, it won't matter as much when you actually do it, as long as you do it in time.
yeah. Okay. Okay. It's done. Here we go. Really need to teach MechJeb to not disengage the clamps when an engine fails.
does seem like something that could be taught to it.
Yes. All right.
Factorio combinators would let you leave comments on them. Are you gonna play tomorrow?
Probably. See. You?
Probably, yeah.
Cool. Try this again. I guess I shouldn't have warped that extra bit because the sun is reasonably high above the horizon from this altitude. But I presume we'll be close enough. Nice thing is that we're almost bang on the fall equinox.
Yeah. Cosine effects shouldn't be significant with these angles.
Yep. Yeah, raising the attach altitude is the right call.
Cool. I think one of the best parts about RP-1 is that when you do something it really right, it does make you feel smart for having done it.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good feeling. Rip.
Oh no.
Got AJ10'd.
Oh no.
Well, at least we're gonna get some bits out
It
of
said
the
performance loss though. Why did it shut down?
ignition failed and performance loss.
Oh.
Yes.
That'll be a lot of data.
Yes.
So not letting you.
We'll get the data out of this.
Time delayed. Turn home.
That was sad.
Hey, you were gonna get some space data out of it.
Oh, I didn't notice that the apogee went into space.
I don't think it was gonna be significant, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, probably like a tenth of a science point or something. Yeah, so that's going to take 80 days, which is to say it will cost uh, something like 60 million. Given that I forgot to choose first solar satellite, first solar powered satellite before I flew that. Duh. You know what? I need to go to bed like now, so I'm just going to reload that. And if necessary, I can deduct the funds later or something silly like that. But I just want to fly this thing.
That's fair. Plus, it's not like your tuning doesn't need some work here. So
Yes, I'm well aware that the tuning needs work. This time I will remember to select for solar powered satellite.
I mean, it's pointless to tune it now if you're gonna implement the program stuff.
Right. I mean, I want to tune it just enough so that it's playable. Which is, I don't know, maybe. Mostly what it needs is something between this and going for lunar and
I put the
human
subsidy
spaceflight.
thing in fast then and tune it alongside that at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Go. Clean separation. AJ10 overperformed slightly. Nice. Now it does the weird pitch down and then pitch up thing. Oh no, it just did a straight pitch down. That was interesting.
The higher attach was better.
Yeah, the higher attach worked a lot better.
Yeah, last time you had 120 meters per second of residuals. This time you had significantly more.
Yeah, but I think also I overperformed slightly compared to the
fair.
sim. Time to spin up. Okay. Yeah, we should have launched before dawn.
Yeah, a little bit.
There we go. But we're getting a reasonable amount of electricity out of that.
What does it say? Didn't actually manage to read it.
almost 7 watts.
I guess what's the percentage?
Uh,
97%. Yeah,
97%,
fine.
pretty good.
Could have done much better, yeah.
Yep. Okay, everything's transmitting. Net positive on power. And we're strongly enough positive that we'll recharge once we're out of Earth's shadow. Okay.
Yeah, with this orbit, you're probably getting 65, 70% time in the sun anyway.
Yeah. And we need to come back in 2 weeks. Yep, pretty good. Okay. It's artificial satellite. Altitude record for scientific satellite. And then at some point, we will get solar powered satellite. Uh, 13 days from now. Well, that was a success. We now have a lot of money. By a lot of money, I mean, oh God, we're going to run out of it in a year.
Scientists are greedy.
And that big science, in the pocket of big science. All right. Yeah. So yes, that is approximately 1 year of funding.
Does the maintenance panel tell you now how long till you run out?
No. No, it just says.
Yeah, that's going to have to be something that features
Yes.
prominently somewhere.
Yes. So yeah, the way this is going to work is you take these and lunar range comms, and then basically I just need to build a Thor under it, which means I need to pay to unlock some good engines, which why are two of them showing up in the tree? That's kind of weird.
I think you probably should get the next avionics as well.
That's already under research.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not quite under research yet because I need more science first.
Well, I think you're researching the node before that. Maybe you're not.
No, I already have it. That's what I used to get to orbit with.
Yeah.
It's early avionics. But yeah, so I don't technically need deep space to get to the moon, although with Principia, we'll see.
Well, I wasn't suggesting it for the deep space. I was actually more for just the payload reduction.
Yeah. Yes, the interesting question will be if I'm launching to launch in a lunar launch window. Technically, I could just fly Oh, interesting. This doesn't actually give me. Yeah, this gives me the Altair. Yes, so basically, but I should be able to get Thor able to orbit and then to the moon on a GCRC. Fine. Yeah, the problem is going to be paying for the tracking station upgrade. That's 60K plus
50K? 60K. Yeah.
Wait, 50K for that and then 10K for the comms upgrade.
Right.
Plus the construction workers required to upgrade it in a timely manner. Also that I'm running into headwinds. Because I'm already, in terms of, like, these are already orange because I'm running ahead of schedule.
Right, yeah.
Which I guess is a sign if I should fire some researchers.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that anyway just to be survivable because I can't. I mean, so how long would it take to... Oh, I don't actually know how long it would take because I don't have any construction workers. But assuming I had construction workers, building an actual launch complex. All right, so about as long as the tracking station upgrade costs. Yeah. All right. Decisions.
And
But
all of that can do in less. You have to do in less than a year because your researchers will eat it all up by then.
basically.
Yeah.
So no, I had like accepting the lunar contracts gives me another year on top of the current year.
Right. Well, you shouldn't accept so many of them that you can't do a few plane contracts in the meanwhile.
Yeah. And there's also the fact that I'm gonna get the that
Polar
solar,
orbit.
yeah, which will give me 48K. So yeah, all workable.
Yeah, it is. It's too much, too narrow a margin for most people, I think.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then again, they could just be going slower, and going slower gives you more repeatables and more.
yep, yeah. Had I kept to about 200 researchers, um, it would have been a much more sustainable program.
Mhm.
Which is again an argument for capping it there.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, adding an extra R&D complex upgrade. But anyway, that's going to do me for tonight. Thanks for coming by.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Thank you
Thanks
everybody
for having me.
watching. Bet. And I'll catch you all later. Night.
Later.